So next is threads. The Linux system call. The Linux system call, clone, and Linux Unix system calls. So pthread underscore create or exit. The task means what? It is a set of peer threads. Now peer thread means it share the code section, data section, and operating system resources such as table of the file descriptions and table of signal handlers. Each thread has its own stack and PC. So it is good for multiprocessor system in which the processors share a main memory. Now the user thread means by calling a special library functions, we can develop multiple threads of control in our program that can run concurrently. Now fast switching. Fast switching is switching among the peer threads does not incur an interrupt to the kernel. No short-term scheduling, no address space change. Only PC, that is program counter, and stack address switch among threads is required. Sometimes we can modify multiple process sharing some memory space to a task or multiple fast switching is switching among peer thread does not incur an interrupt to the kernel, no short-term scheduling, no address space change. Only PC and stack address switch among thread is required. Sometimes we can modify multiple processes sharing some memory space to a task of multi-threads. So faster partially solve the context switch problem. Now the limitation is that the CPU scheduling units are not threads but a task. So when thread 1 of task 1 wait for input output completion or a signal, the scheduler switches the CPU to another task. Thus all peer threads in task 1 will be blocked because the task 1 releases the CPU and get into a device or waiting queue. Now the scheduler allocates same amount of time to 100 thread task and 2 thread task. The motivation for the multi-thread kernel. So here's stack 1, stack 2, stack 3, and the bottom part is the code section which include 3 concurrent functions, that is subroutine thread 1, 2 and 3. So this figure, it is an example of 3 thread task. A user program which consists of 3 subsections that can run concurrently. It can be a task that consists of 3 threads. In a Linux type man clone and read the man page. So note that peer threads can write or read any other thread stack. Now multi-thread kernel means kernel is a task of multiple threads. Therefore, fair scheduling solve the limitation of user thread and increase the kernel utilization. While one kernel thread is waiting for an input-output completion, the kernel can accept another request. Hybrid approach means both user thread and kernel thread are implemented. Next, interprocess communication. Interprocess communication means IPC. So Linux or the Unix system calls pipe read or write. Introduction for the interprocess communication. The cooperative processes. So why do we need them? That is cooperative processes. So it is used for information sharing, computation speed up for multiprocessor system, modularity and convenience. The operating system should provide a cooperative process with communication mechanism so that they can communicate with each other, at least read write or send receive. The example of cooperative process producer consumer problem is that unbounded buffer or bounded buffer. So buffer can be provided by the operating system, that is message passing, for example pipe, and buffer can be programmed in cooperative process, that is shared memory. Next, direct communication. Both sender and receiver must name each other, that is symmetric addressing. The process Q, then it is send P message, process P receive Q message. Only the sender names the recipient, a symmetric addressing. Process Q send P message, process P receive ID message. Pros of direct communication is that it provides some degree of protection, and cons, that is disadvantage, is that it has a limited modularity, here with changing the name of P. Next is indirect communication. So here the message are sent and received to and from the ports for our mailbox. Here each port has a unique ID. The process P, that is send port ID message, process Q receive port ID message, and mailbox can belong to the operating system or programmed in cooperative processes. Next is buffering. So port has a zero capacity. The synchronization is necessary. The sender waits for the receiver to send a message. When both of them are ready, the sender can send a message. Port has a bounded capacity. The N message can be stored in a port temporarily. So note that N is the same as the port size, and sender does not wait when the port is not full. So this is all about. Also, when the port is full, sender wait one message in the port is consumed. So port has an unbounded capacity. The sender never has to wait for the receiver. So this is all about the direct communication, indirect communication and buffering. And the last point is the issue with IPC. So these issues apply to both message passing and shared memory schemes. The sender or receiver has been terminated and the other one is waiting for a message from the terminated one. The receiver has been terminated and the sender sent a message. So base solution is that one of the error return value of the send or receive function is the sender or receiver has been terminated. So operating system terminates the other one. The worst solution is that operating system does not care about it. Then the message was lost. Best is the its operating system responsibility. So is that operating system detect it and tell the sender about it. And the worst issue is that it's sender responsibility. Then the message was damaged. It is a parity check. So in this lecture we have seen threads and IPC.